up. You're light as a feather.
Baby, because I'm 53 now, but I've lost about 53 pounds.
Really? How do you look great?
Is Patti looking good or what?
Patti La Belle is famous for high-energy performing. But one night the voltage just wasn't there. In fact, the lights almost went all the way out.
I thought I was going to die. And I was going into these hot flashes and just going through it. Actually, I had to have someone bring the chair on stage, and I never sit when I perform, so I had to sit for a few numbers. And after that, I said, it's time for Miss Patti to be checked out. And I came home, went to my doctor's, and he said, your sugar is almost 500. And I said, my sugar? I didn't have a clue what he was talking about because I didn't know that I was diabetic.
Patti had worried about getting cancer, the disease that killed all 3 of her sisters. But when she learned that her body was having trouble handling sugar, she remembered that her mother and uncle had been diabetic too.
When I realized I was diabetic, I thought about so many people in my family had died of diabetes. And you never think about it until it hits you. And I started taking those pills, 2 in the morning and 2 at dinner time. And I started eating better, and I started treating myself better, and I actually woke up to life. I don't eat as many fried foods as I used to, so instead of frying the chicken, I'll bake it, or I'll broil it, or I'll do it on the grill. And there's so many exciting things you can do with sauteed chicken, sauteed fish, sauteed, if you're going to eat meat, you can, instead of frying the pork chops, you can saute those girls.
Eating carefully on the rock and roll road takes some extra effort and equipment.
And we have a bus that I travel on, and I make sure there's facilities on the bus that I can cook things that I have to have. There's ways to cook food that you don't have to use grease. Look at that. Looks like the hair I used to wear on stage. A lot of times with black people, we make our greens and we cook them with ham hocks. And I haven't eaten a ham hock in a long, long time because I've been cooking my greens and my cabbage with smoked turkey wings and smoked turkey legs. And sometimes at home with no smoked turkey at all, I just use a little bit of olive oil and lots of water, and you steam it. You forget about the pork and the stuff that you could put in it because they taste so good without it. I use fresh garlic, and you put it in a garlic press, and you press that girl out and saute your vegetables with that in olive oil, and it's so good. And then you can do like sliced tomatoes and mozzarella cheese and fresh onions and green peppers and olives. Just a lot of things that you can eat that are so tasty that people don't even think about. And there are so many healthy ways that we can eat. We don't have to eat the way that we are used to eating. And we don't have to die of the diseases that we've been dying of. We can start thinking much better of ourselves and checking ourselves out. And while you're checking yourself out, tell your sister and your brother and your mother and father to check themselves too. Because a lot of times it's not just the kids who don't check themselves, it's the mother and fathers. It's the habits that we see from them that we take on. When I'm not feeling well, I will see my doctor, and he'll tell me that your sugar is up, or your sugar is whatever, or it's too low. Sometimes it can be too low. And then he'll increase my medication or whatever he has to do. And I live by it.